Glock perfection. Ever since Gaston Glock's first design hit the markets in 1982, these 34-part wonders have been extremely reliable, robust, and are today trusted by over 65% of law enforcement in the United States. They have been manufactured since 1985 in Smyrna, Georgia, and also have been manufactured since the beginning in Austria. In this video, we will dive into the subtle differences between the American Glocks and the Austrian Glocks. Stick around to find out. Hello everyone, my name is Dennis. Welcome to my first ever YouTube video. I'm a firearms enthusiast. I try to get into competitions, and I basically created this channel because I want to share what I have learned, and I also want to keep track of my progress throughout my beginning stages in shooting USPSA and IPSC. Obviously, the goal of my content is purely educational. I want to share what I have learned. I'm currently based in Europe, and today the first video that I'm going to do for this channel is unboxing my Glock. This is a European Glock, so it's a Glock that's made in Austria because, as you know, Glocks are made in the US also, and there's some differences that we're going to go over in this video because I haven't seen any online. We're also going to unbox this Holosun EPS, so let's dive in. We're going to start with the main attraction over here, the Glock. So we see, make sure it's clear. Gun is clear, nothing in the chamber. So we're going to start with that. First get the gun, Glock 45. I got the 45 because I like the length of the 19, but my hands are too big for the 19 frame. So I basically best of both worlds. I think it's a great gun. I've shot it a bunch before in other competitions. What I noticed is that in Europe, the Glock came with only 2 mags. So we can see, I know in the States sometimes it can come with 3, but these are regular Gen 5 17 rounds. It also came with the classic small Glock bullet pusher, I guess. I don't even know what you call this. I don't really tend to use it. I also didn't get this ugly OEM cable lock gun, so that's a plus for the European one. Obviously it's an MOS model, so we got the plate. This one seems to be 02, so I think it's RMR. It's the RMR cut. We got the back straps, which here we have the flat one, and then we have the one that's a bit bigger. I don't really use them, but I've seen people mounting it here in the back and just cutting it around here just to make the grip angle a bit better, but if it's not broken, don't fix it. From my experience in shooting Glocks, I have not had that issue, or maybe not issue yet. So for now, the gun's gonna go without a backstrap. It also fits my hand quite well, so I don't really see why I would need it. So we got the small brush that also comes with its neat little packaging over here, so we can clean our barrel. And the paperwork in German, Spanish, English. Let's go over the main differences between an Austrian-made Glock and an American-made Glock. The biggest difference, and honestly it's kind of like the only difference, is the marking that we have on the slide. As you know, Glock has a manufacturing plant in the United States, more specifically in Smyrna, which is right next to Atlanta. And they also make their guns in Austria. They have a lot of reasons for making their guns in the States because it's a huge market, and obviously there are tariffs and everything. So it's good for Glock to manufacture in the States. There's a lot of demand over there, so Smyrna was a good spot for it. But there are some differences, and I have not seen them online before, so I thought might as well start my channel with this. The guns are basically the same. Like, it's still a Glock, it's still perfection, obviously. Reliability-wise and size-wise, it's the exact same gun. What changes is the markings. Glock is an Austrian brand. The guns are made in Austria and in Germany, if I'm correct. And there are some markings that show that it's made in Austria compared to one made in America. There's also different laws in Europe and in America, obviously, regarding firearms, which I think I'll go over in another video. So there are two main differences regarding markings. The first one, and I think it's a cool one that has a vibe to it, is that there's the Austrian eagle stamped into the slide, the barrel, and the frame. There's also 4 letters, which are CIP altogether, and right below there's N. CIP means Commission Internationale Permanente. This is an organization in Europe that tests firearms for safety, and they certify them so that they can be sold to the public. It was founded in 1914 in Belgium, so it's based in Brussels, and there's 14 member countries. Long story short, what they do is they put overpressured ammunition in the gun and fire it to certify it for safety. They have uniform standards that ensure that the firearm can withstand safe levels of pressure. And if the gun passes, then it can be sold. If it doesn't, then it's not. So there's a pre-test inspection where they look at all the specs of the gun, they measure it. I think they look at all the measurements they have, the barrel, the slide and everything, and then they fire it.
But this is fine. It's completely fine.
For firearms like this, it's a cartridge that has 30% more pressure, so a lot more PSI than it's supposed to handle. And once it passes, it will be sold. It's not really about accuracy. They don't really test the accuracy of the pistols. They just check that it's safe and that people are not gonna blow their hands up if they put +P ammo. But it's a Glock, you can run basically anything. I never had an issue shooting a Glock. Only had one malfunction in about 1,000 rounds, and I think that was an ammo issue, so Glocks will chew through anything, but they just want to make sure that it's safe because Europe legislation is different. There's a date that's marked on my frame, which says 06/25. 6 is obviously June and of this year, 2025. This is a recent Glock that was recently certified. It's not about when it was built, it was about when it was certified. The N means that the gun was certified in an Austrian proof house. Here I have a comparison. This is an airsoft Glock. As you can see, this is what I dry fire with sometimes. I'll go over it in another video, but you can see basically the same. It says 17 Austria. This is a 17 slide and this is a 45. You can see the difference. The biggest difference they have again is the marking. So here we have the regular Glock that you would see in an American-made Glock. And here we have the CIP with the N below it. Same thing on the barrel, we have the Austrian Eagle over here. And on the other side, they're identical. Both of them are Austria. This one has 17 Gen 5 on it, but that's mostly some small Glock variations. We're gonna unbox the Holosun that I'm gonna be putting in it. I went with the Holosun EPS because it's a closed emitter, and just because of rain, of lint, or thirst, or everything, I just don't want anything getting into that. So let's open this up. It's a, pretty regular Holosun. Warranty card. Small microfiber cloth so you can clean your glass. The user's manual. Different size screws. We have an RMR adapter plate, so if your gun is milled to have an RMR, this can just go over it and it'll fit the footprint because this is a K footprint. And we got the small Holosun tool that we have. I also went for the 6 MO8 dot because I did a competition a while back with a 507 comp, so it's the big window, and it had the 8 MOA circle with the 2 MO8 dot. I was in between the 3 MOA or the 6 MOA, and I ended up going with the bigger one because I will be competing with this, and I wanted this closed emitter, so I think it was the best of both worlds. I'll be mounting it on a DPP Titanium plate. Here we have the small tool with the different screws for different lengths. Installation manual over here. This is a titanium plate. It's not like the other Glock MOS plates that come with the gun that I've heard not so good reviews, so I went with this one. The gun is safe. We're gonna remove the slide, pull your trigger, recoil spring, barrel. You don't really need to do this, but I just do it out of convenience. Small side note, since I'm based in Europe, there's no inch pounds. We're gonna clean the surface. 13 inch pounds is 1.5 Newton meters. Make sure when you mount the plate, torque it on a lower value on one side, torque to the other side, and then go up gradually. I'm also gonna clean the plate, make sure everything's fine. It looks like it's gonna be this way. It's very nice, it's very low profile. So it's very well indicated. There's a bunch of screws that you're gonna see. There's 5 screws just to mount the plate. You also wanna make sure that you're not cross-threading them. That's one. So I'm gonna go with this first. First screw is in, but not all the way. Drop it in over here. We're gonna go one side first, so it's gonna be a bit tight. And then once they're kind of tight and not moving anymore, we're gonna go to the wrench. We're here at 1 Newton meter, and we wanna go to 1.5. So I'm gonna put this at 1.2 first. Turn it until we get that audible click. Then we go to the other side, slowly. There you go, so 1.5. It's 13 inch-pounds. So we got our plate on now. Next, we need to get the EPS. Holosun tells me to mount it at 15. 15 inch-pounds is 1.7 Newton meters. So there's EPS screws on the DPP Titanium plate. So it's actually very, very easy to mount. There's 3. These ones do have a lot of Loctite, so I don't think I'm gonna need to put more Loctite. I do not want to cross-thread these. I'm gonna start at 1.2, which is 10 inch-pounds. Gets tight, other side. So that's 1.2, we need to go to 1.7. Now it's mounted, we need to give it 24 hours just for the Loctite to set in. So let's put this back together and we'll zero it with the laser. Clear. Here what I got is this laser bore sighter. To operate this, you have to twist the back part and open it, pull out the 2 small batteries, stick them in with the flat part on top and screw it back on. The laser will be turned on automatically. For bore sighters like this, you want to make sure that they are accurate and that they're well made. And to do so, you place it on a flat surface and then you roll it. And you want to watch your lasers so it doesn't go up or down or makes a small circle, because if it does, it means that your bore sighter is not accurate. This one I've used before, so I know it's good. I'm just gonna put it in the chamber. Now to insert, you gotta be very careful not to slam the slide. You don't want to damage your laser, so you're just gonna let it go very slowly. If you can put it somewhere where it's not gonna move, do that. I'm gonna zero it at around 10 yards, and then I'm gonna go to the range and just check that the zero is fine. But this should save you a bunch of ammo. So here you can see the laser from the bore sighter align with my dot. Now I'm doing it on a wall that's closer, so they won't be exactly one on top of the other. But here you can appreciate both red dots. Normally you would have a green bore sighter on a red dot and vice versa, but I just chose this. It's not too inconvenient for my eyes. Now again, I zeroed it at a larger distance than that, so it's not going to be exactly the same. But left and right wise, you can see that the dots are right on top of each other. And if it has trouble coming out, quick tip, just grab a plastic pen or something that won't scratch your barrel and push it out. Again, you do need to go to the range and test it with live ammunition. This is just an easier way of getting your dot on target and on paper. Okay, so now the gun is zeroed, it's ready to go to the range. I'm gonna go test that out. Thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned some things on the new Austrian markings, because it was something that I did not know about before. And I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.